Hello and welcome to Asian Pulse. I'm your host Kathleen Singh and I hope you all are having a fabulous day. I've been away from this show for a while, but now I'm back. It's nice to see you all. We are still in the middle of a pandemic. Schools are open. Most of the children are still in school. Some parents don't feel safe to send their children to school. Parents also have the choice to keep their children home or do homeschooling or online learning. This school year, everything will look very different. Whatever parents choose to do, kids will be wearing masks in the hallways and on playgrounds. The only kids that will be exempt from wearing masks are the ones that have a pre-existing medical condition. We still have to be safe and make sure we wash our hands 20 seconds, wear masks, and keep a 6 feet social distance. These are the only things we have in our control to keep ourselves and our families safe. Flu season will be starting soon this year. The Ministry of Health has put an order in for 13 million flu vaccinations instead of its regular 11 million doses, which we normally do each year. More and more people will be getting the vaccination this year, more than any other year. I will be right back after a word from our sponsors. Today's guest is Sumit Sharma. He won the gold medal for Team Canada in powerlifting at the North American Powerlifting Championship, which took place last year in October in Panama. Let's hear from him.
In my studio, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Sumit Sharma. He is a powerlifter with Team Canada. He's my guest, and he's going to walk through his journey, why he's here and how he started, and where his career is taking him and his sports. So welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay. So can you walk us through these people that are watching you, the kids who are watching you, you become a role model in the community. So talk us through or take us through your journey of how you become a weightlifter and you represent Canada.
Well, for me, it all started back in high school. I was quite overweight. Whenever my parents would give me lunch money, I would always take that lunch money and go to fast food restaurants, go to the vending machine, just eat a lot of junk food. Never really took care of my health. After high school, I enrolled myself into some courses at Douglas College. It wasn't then where things really changed for myself. After taking those courses, it really changed my perspective on eating habits, fitness, dieting. So after taking those classes, I really wanted to make a change. So what had happened was at that period, when I was enrolled into Douglas College, I was weighing in about 210 pounds.
How long are you talking back? Like when, in which year?
I was probably back in 2007.
Okay.
So it's quite a while ago. I was quite overweight. Never really took care of my health, but like I said, once I took those courses, I was about 210 pounds, and that was strictly from eating junk food, not eating right, a lot of fast food, a lot of chips and pops. So after I took those courses, I really wanted to make a change. I talked to my instructors, talked to personal trainers, did my own research on the internet, started going to the gym. I didn't lift weights right off the bat. I did a lot of cardio, a lot of dieting. Within a period of 6 to 8 months, I went from 210 to 173, and I was really happy with myself. And from there, I started lifting weights. So I started training hard. Before I started going to lifting weights, I talked to personal trainers, did my research on the internet, and also talked to my instructors. When I started lifting weights, I knew I could lift a lot. So I decided to, go into powerlifting. So in 2015, I decided in 2016 I was gonna compete in powerlifting. So in 2015, I trained with the coach for one year. Did my first show in 2016 in Abbotsford. Finished in second place in bench press. The whole experience in that show was very positive. So positive that I wanted to carry on with this. The score that I achieved in that show was enough for me to qualify for BC provincials. the same year. So I went to BC Provincials, which was held here in Surrey, and I finished in first place there in bench press. The following year, I went to Western Canada in Edmonton, so that's all of Western Canada, and I finished in first place there. From there, I was able to qualify to Nationals. Nationals is the biggest powerlifting event in our country. You have more than 2,000 athletes competing. I finished in fourth place in Ottawa. That was enough for me to qualify and represent Canada in 2019 at the Commonwealth Powerlifting Championship in Newfoundland. I got silver for Canada, which was a huge honor for me to represent the country and get a medal for silver. Next month, in October, I also represented Team Canada at Panama at the North American Powerlifting Championship. Basically, that's all the countries in North America competing. Only 8 people in the country got selected, and I was one of the 8. And I got gold for Canada. And from there, I just competed this past March in Winnipeg in Nationals. And like I said earlier, Nationals is the biggest powerlifting event in our country, and I was able to get first place. And because I got first place, I'm able to go to. I was supposed to be going to Worlds in powerlifting, but that got canceled due to COVID-19.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
So proud of you, whatever your achievement has been.
Yes.
And in such a short time, too. Once you realize that this is your goal and you're not going to stop. And you also are working full time, too.
Yes.
So those people that are watching you today, and I think today's children, all of us, even as a parent, I also feed. You know, when I don't have time to cook, I give the money to my kids or grandkids, because I don't want my kids to be hungry, right?
Yes.
To buy this fast food. And they are so bad for you. But, and you said, I gained so much weight,
Yeah.
210 pounds,
Yeah.
and your size, your height,
Yeah.
that is
Yes.
a big weight to carry, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you don't realize,
Yeah.
you think there's a healthy 300 calories or 600 calories.
Yeah.
They don't. But it surely adds up. And especially now, when the children are back in school, parents are also working, they have to run from one game to one sports to another. So what they find is convenient of giving the money and getting the fast food for the kids. So the kids are not hungry, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of message you want to give it to the parents, I think, how bad that is, and the kids too, because my kid says, Nani, you can buy the food, and if I make roti and all that, they said, it's not the same to them, because
Yeah.
they have this, the taste buds that they have is all about fries, fast food, gravy,
Yeah.
hamburgers, and all this is loaded, but there's no salads or nothing nobody buys.
I think for parents, maybe educating their kids about nutrition, that will go a long way. Like I said earlier, I was one of those kids that would eat a lot of deep fried food, pizza, pop, chips, just a lot of junk food. But then, as I started, started looking at other like protein things to eat, like rice bowls, snack bars. Just other protein meals, that really changed my perspective, because you don't always need to have junk food. There are other meals that taste good, but you just have to, you just got to do your research out there.
Acquire the taste.
Yes, exactly.
Even if you're giving your children money to go buy the food, there is salads, there's other things that
Oh, yeah.
kids can buy,
Yeah.
but they choose not to.
Exactly.
And because what tastes better, and
Yeah.
that's hamburger and fries and gravy and ketchup and pop.
Yeah.
Because one can of pop, they say there's 1 cup of sugar in that. And I think the people, and that's why children or we in Canada, this diabetes, especially in the South Asian community,
Yes.
is one of the highest among all the other races or other people, because we just like drinking pop and give the pop to the kids, but always remember, water is the best thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water, as much as you want to drink. So talk a little bit about this motivation. Do you have any role models then when you started taking care of your body taking care of what goes inside you, and being in the forefront and your bench, your weightlifting and all that. Did you have anybody that you followed or had any role model that I want to be like that person one day?
I think my parents were my role models. They worked extremely hard growing up. They worked 7 days a week. Just their work ethic just showed me a lot. It's as I got older, I realized how much they did for me, and that really meant a lot to me. So they were my role models of never giving up. And as I started, getting medals for Team Canada, I really wanted to give back to the community, and share my journey with the younger generation. I didn't want the kids to go into eating junk food or eating deep fried food that much or whatnot. I wanted the younger generation to hear my journey of what I had to go through in order to achieve my goal to win gold for Canada. So what I did was, once I had won my medals for Team Canada, I started an initiative back in January where I would go to local elementary schools, high schools in the Lower Mainland. So I went to schools in Richmond, Surrey, the Fraser Valley, Vancouver, and just talk to kids about dieting, eating right, and just share my journey of what I had to go through to win a medal for Canada. And I'm not telling these kids to be a powerlifter, but I hope my story inspires them to follow their dreams, and to achieve whatever their goal is. If it's becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a chef, a nurse, a business person, whatever it may be, my goal is to share my journey, and hopefully they get motivated to
Do you have other siblings?
No, I don't have any siblings.
You are the only
one. But growing up, I had a lot of cousins.
Yes.
And they just live right across the street. So every weekend they'll be over at my house. We have sleepovers. So pretty much they were my brothers and sisters.
Yes, yes. And you said you are and also I think it's very important that how you got involved in weightlifting and taking care and going to the gym, that also kept you away from getting into drugs,
Yeah.
gangs, and doing all these things that when children are idle or not, they don't follow anything,
Yeah.
or they don't do anything, then they have all this thing in the mind that they hang out with the bad company or bad, because no kid is bad kid.
Yeah.
They remember that, no kid. Every parent wants their kid to grow up and get the proper education, get a job and all that. But it's just sometimes the group where they belong that instead of pursuing their education, they go the wrong way. Do you want to talk about how important it was for you that when you participated in sports and all that, that also kept you away from getting involved in other activities?
Yeah, for sure. For me, what my parents did was, I was very involved with sports. Even though I did eat a lot of junk food and eat a lot of deep fried food and whatnot, my parents put me in soccer, swimming, karate, and whatnot, and so I was always busy with sports and whatnot. But as I got older, I just wanted to always give back to the community. So even once I finished high school and I was enrolling into colleges, I was still volunteering with various organizations. So I kept busy. I was part of volunteering with Big Brothers, the crisis lines, community policing, and whatnot. So I was very, very busy growing up from my teen years. So it's just that really, kept me on the right track. Yeah.
So those kids that are watching you today,
Yep.
what would you want to say to them? I mean, the parents play their own role,
Yeah.
and parents also have to be out of the house, work, provide for the kids, provide housing, food, and everything what the kid want. and put them in karate. All the sports I find is not cheap,
No,
right?
no, yeah.
So, what would you like? And parents' dream, like I said, is they want to raise the kids to become, and so that they make the parents very proud. So, those kids that are watching you today, that you are sitting here, you could have been not been able to do this or have this medal today and be so proud that we all are so proud of you that you could have gone the other way too, and but you chose not to. And so I think, what would you like to say to the kids that will get them motivated to join the sports and stay focused?
My advice would be surround yourself with positive people. That plays, that goes a long way. For me, I always had positive friends, very encouraging parents, and if you have a goal, be very motivated, have the patience, have the determination. That's what I did in order to achieve gold. My goal is to win a medal for Canada, and I did it with determination, patience, and I had the drive. And basically, my advice would be just have those three things, and I'm sure you'll succeed.
And you are also nominated for Drishti Award. Talk a little bit about that. How is that coming along? And when would you find out if you won?
So
that?
yeah, I'm grateful. It's a huge honor to be nominated Athlete of the Year at the Drishti Awards. Basically, when you get nominated, they look at what you have done this year, what you've competed. For me, it was competing in Winnipeg in March before COVID-19 happened. I was competing at the powerlifting nationals, and I finished in first place. They also look at what kind of community, like what kind of things as an athlete are you doing to give back to the community. For me, it was going to school, talking, sharing my journey with these kids. But when COVID-19 happened, me and my sponsors wanted to give back to the community, so what we did is we started an initiative where we got food supplies, and we started this initiative in April, I believe. We've been, we get some Indian food, we get water bottles, coffee, my in-laws, my parents, my wife, we get a lot of food, and we basically just go to local hospitals and we donate food supplies to the frontline workers as a thank you of what they've been doing. I believe Drishti came to know about that, and they put me in the category as Athlete of the Year, so it's a huge honor, and I should know by end of September if I've won it or not. But regardless if I win or not, it's a huge honor of just being nominated.
And the work that you have been doing for the frontline work,
Yeah.
like I say, they do night and day, they work night and day to keep everybody safe there.
Yeah.
Because they're also a family.
Exactly.
Yeah, they could be sleeping home, going home, but they have chosen to do the frontline work. And thank you so much. The last word of advice to the parents and the kids. What would you like to say? How can you achieve? How could they achieve? I know you have said that. And just say, a motivational something that maybe they will look up to you and they say, okay, what can I talk to you one-to-one? I'm struggling, or I cannot. Either struggling in the schoolwork, work and everything, so. And
My best advice, like I always said, was, when I went to school and I was talking to these kids, they wouldn't come and ask me questions right away because they're nervous and whatnot. They would come and ask me afterwards individually, and I tell these kids the same thing. They have questions. Hey, how do I become a police officer? How do I go into powerlifting? How do I do this? How do I do that? These are all long-term goals that they have. But I just, the thing that I say to them was, be determined, have patience, and just have the drive. And it's not gonna come easy. But as long as you put the effort in, it's not going to be an easy road, but just have patience and everything will work out in the end. And that's what I tell the kids when I go and give my presentation. And, once they hear that, they get quite motivated, and that's what I would like to share with the viewers.
Thank you so much, and congratulations.
All right, thank you for having me.
And wish you all the very best with this Drishti Award. Like you say, whether you get it or not, that's not the point.
Yeah.
But you have made it there, and in your own time, you are giving back to the community.
Yes.
So that's a great work you are doing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sumit Sharma is also nominated by Drishti magazine for Athlete of the Year. Congratulations to Sumit Sharma. We have some events that are happening in your community that you may be interested in participating in. If you are planning an event that you would like our community to be aware of, please send it to asianpulse@gmail.com. Sunday Students Food Banks, Guru Nanak's Free Kitchen, in collaboration with One Voice Canada, is organizing Sunday Students Food Bank starting from July 5th every Sunday. A variety of groceries and fresh produce, as well as bakery items, will be distributed at the Guru Nanak Sikh Society from 12:30 to 2 p.m. For more information, please contact Hardeep Singh at 779-814-7054 or Harsahib Singh at 604-781-5687. Mindfulness practices for wellness with Guru Gaba, breathing, meditation, chanting. Garam Gaba is a meditation practitioner and South Asian Youth Medal Ambassador. Date to be announced. For registration, email is info@samha.org. In honor of International Day of Girl Child, there is a film featuring about women. It is taking place on October 10th and 11th. For submission and more information in regards to this, please contact Sonia Ante at 604-807-8796 or Allison at 778-896-0294. Mindfulness-based stress reduction. This is an 8-week online course starting on Thursday, October the 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. on Zoom. This online course will be based on practices, gentle yoga, group dialogue, and mindful communication exercises to increase present moment in your everyday life. To register and for more information, go to counseling@kidshouse.org. If you're planning any event and you would like to put it on this show, please send it to asianpulse@gmail.com. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I hope you've enjoyed today's show as much as I had bringing it to you. If you have any comments, suggestions, or story ideas, please email us at asianpulse@gmail.com or call us at 604-537-5123. In our credits, the parting thought of the day is, where there is a mind, there are feelings such as pain, pleasure, and joy. No sentient being wants pain. All of us want happiness instead. I believe that all sentient beings share those feelings at some basic level. That's by the Dalai Lama. If you've missed today's show, you can always watch it again on Thursdays at 8:30 and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Goodbye for now. I'm Kathleen Singh. I've really enjoyed bringing this show to you again. And before I leave, the farmesh from today is from Ritik. He would like to hear this song. Here you go, Ritik. Hum Tumhare Hai Sanam is the title song. Enjoy it. And if you'd like to request a song, please send it to asianpulse@gmail.com.
हम तुम्हारे हैं तुम्हारे सनम, हम तुम्हारे हैं तुम्हारे सनम, जाने मन मोहब्बत की हर कसम की कसम, ना जुदा होंगे हम
तुम्हारे हैं तुम्हारे सनम, हम तुम्हारे हैं तुम्हारे सनम, जाने मन मोहब्बत की हर कसम की कसम, ना जुदा होंगे हम तुम्हारे
सनम हम तुम्हारे हैं, तुम्हारे सनम। जाने मन मोहब्बत की हर कसम की कसम, ना जुदा होंगे हम।